We are all living in an era of modern technology, and we are slowly being rewired to unconsciously harm our brains. This kind of life brings many lifestyle habits that have a bad influence on your cognitive health. Experts say that modern lifestyle is decreasing our neural pathways, making our thought processes slower and less capable of original thought. Staying connected 24/7 is taking a toll on our brain more and more, and is causing us to be less productive. Unfortunately, people don't take care of their brains nearly as well as they take care of their bodies. To be productive every day, we need to do more to improve our brain health. One of the first things we can do is adjust our daily habits by getting rid of everything that causes cognitive decline. But before we tell you the top 5 habits that damage your brain, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Inactivity drains your brain. Lack of physical activity is linked to obesity, heart disease, depression, dementia, and even cancer. Most people don't know that basic physical activity can slow down cognitive decline. Such activities include walking, running, cycling, and stretching, to name a few. But with hyperconnectivity taking a toll on our lives, we are slowly becoming a sedentary species. According to a study in the Journal of Comparative Neurology, being sedentary can change the shape of certain neurons in our brain. Regular physical activity increases chemicals that promote learning and better memory, and is good for your brain in general. People know that physical activity is good for them, they are just not doing anything about it. Are you really multitasking? We've become so obsessed with mobile devices that we use them all the time. Whether we're texting someone while we're walking, catching up on emails during our commute, or listening to podcasts while we're waiting for our morning coffee, we are always doing something. Most people are doing this because they think they are multitasking. However, studies have shown that multitasking is one of the habits that makes us less effective by rewiring our brains. According to Earl Miller, a neuroscientist at MIT, our brains are not meant to multitask. They are just not wired that way. Instead, when we multitask, we are actually switching from one task to another rapidly. And every time we do that, we are losing a bit of our cognitive ability. And that's not all. Multitasking increases the level of the stress hormone cortisol. Doing a lot of things at the same time can also overstimulate our brains, which causes mental fog and makes thinking harder. Information overload causes overstimulation of the brain. Do we really need to stay up to date with everything that's going on? No, not really. Notifications, emails, and social updates eat a huge chunk out of our day, and if not managed properly, that constant stream of information can lead to decision overload. According to psychology professor Glenn Wilson, trying to focus on a task while you know there is an unread email in your inbox can reduce your effective IQ by 10 points. If you want to maximize your brain's efficiency, you need to learn how to ignore unnecessary information. Stop sitting for too long. According to a recent UCLA study, people who lead a more sedentary life have thinning in brain regions that are linked to memory. The study showed that sitting is not only a physical health risk, but also a neurological one as well. The way you can battle this is by introducing more activity into your life. The type of activity can vary from walking, running, exercising, and standing while working. Even stand-up meetings are good for you. Basically, anything that will allow you to sit less and move more is good for your physical and mental health. Too much screen time affects mental and emotional well-being. We live in an era where people spend more time online than with their families. Face-to-face interactions have become so rare that we've started to avoid physical contact. However, talking to someone face-to-face is extremely beneficial for your brain. According to a study conducted by the University of Michigan, just 10 minutes of conversation with a person who is physically there can help you improve memory and cognition. Conversely, lack of true personal interaction can lead to depression and loneliness, which contribute to cognitive decline. When we spend the day looking at various screens, we hurt our eyes, neck, shoulders, back and wrists, and all of that can mess with our sleep cycles. The first thing we can and should do to help mediate this is to set boundaries and reduce screen time. But if you really want to go hardcore brain preservation mode, you can try avoiding screen time entirely, if possible. What about you? How do you deal with information overload? Are you struggling to keep up like the rest of us? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below.